Tell us who you are in the cycling community, besides being a spokesperson for Cycle, for Bicycle Network, for Cycle Australia.
Honestly, I'm just nothing. I'm just a normal punter and loves riding his bike with his friends. I was president of St Kilda Cycling Club for 3 years. I help out Bicycle Network with the Peaks Challenge ride. I enjoy Ride Dalesford. I'm doing Ride Noosa. I enjoy these rides, and I ride my bike along Beach Road on a Saturday. But I'm very passionate about road safety for cyclists because I'm out there 6-7 days a week. I see what goes on.
Lee, I'm here with you this afternoon talking about this ridiculous petition that's gone up. It's been up for 4 months now. Mm-hmm. What do you see as being the outcome of this petition at the moment?
It's just going to drive a lot more hate and negativity towards riders. It's not going to solve anything. It's not realistic. It's the same old argument, paying Rego and all that type of stuff. If Rego is such a great idea, other countries would do it. There's not one country in the world, or I'm led to believe maybe North Korea might be the only one that has paid registrations for cyclists. Look, I'd be happy to pay Rego. It doesn't bother me if I can ride on CityLink then, or the Westgate Bridge. Like, I wouldn't have to ride in a bike lane with all the gerbils and rubbish in it. But look, it's not realistic, and it's just... The real story is it's nothing to do with paying Rego or riding single file. The bottom line is motorists just don't want us on the road. They see us as pests, as an inconvenience. We hold them up and they'll do anything to get us off the road.
The media's gone out and advertised it. Suddenly it's jumped up 7,000 in 24 hours. What does that tell us?
Oh look, cyclists are the easy target. People easy to pick on and we're sort of soft, slow-moving target, so to speak. But what was good was I saw that Karl Stefanovic on the Today Show came out in support of cyclists. So it was actually nice to see someone in mainstream media put forward a logical case that made sense. That sticking up for cyclists, because often we're sort of unheard voice, and it's really frustrating.
Can you tell us why cyclists go to abreast?
It's a hell of a lot safer, plain and simple, because if you're riding, for argument's sake, on a 2-lane road and you're riding 2 abreast, it forces the cars in that left lane to actually come out and around you into the right-hand lane. If you're riding single file, the car in the left lane will actually try and sneak through, get through past you, and invariably, like when I've been hit before, they'll clip you. That's what happens. So it's actually safer. It's more of an object, so you can actually... You can see the cyclist from a long way out. They're not just sort of butted up against the side of the road where you'll try and squeeze through. You've actually taking up a part of that lane, so cars actually have to go around you. So it's actually a lot safer and clearer for the car.
We know TAC recommend it. We know the police recommend it here in Victoria.
Bicycle Networks recommend it. Cycling Australia recommend it. Everyone recommends it. Yep. Just the bogans don't, because we may hold them up for 5 seconds.
Yeah, we know there's not one road in Australia right now that legally has single file enforced on it. So there are signs around that say cyclist single file, but they're
That's a suggestion, and cyclists will do it because they understand. Like along the Mornington Peninsula, up along the Esplanade, you'll ride 2 abreast, and as you hear or see a car, you'll go single file. Simple.
So basically, we know that cyclists aren't out there to annoy motorists. No. We're out there just to do something.
I'm a motorist. Yeah. My partner, she's a motorist. We've got 2 cars and a Vespa between us. We pay 3 lots of Rego. So, we're motorists. We're not anti-motorists by any stretch of the imagination.
And we know 95% of adult cyclists are motorists.
Exactly.
But when you get something like this where they argue registration, they talk about insurance. We already know that riders are insured through their home and contents policy.
Or Bicycle Networks, or Cycling Australia.
That's right. Or through Bicycle New South Wales, Bicycle Queensland, or their other memberships, their own private health funds, exactly. We know that those that aren't in Victoria are protected via TAC still anyway, and we know that we've got an overall environment where the police and those in charge want us to ride 2 abreast and are supporting cycling and the growth of cycling. So basically the only thing we're getting out of this then is just more aggressive motorists.
Exactly. It gets motorists a chance to vent, pick on more cyclists. I rode to that this morning to Frankston with a friend, and on the way back we got sideswiped a couple of times. Cars coming within an inch of us and tooting. What for? Riding two abreast hard up in the gutter.
And you've never had that before? Not the
Oh no, you
occurrence.
haven't. Look, honestly, this is what my friends who don't ride, who don't really like cyclists either, my non-cycling friends, I tell them every day you ride, there's a near miss where a car will drive too close to you, pull out in front of you, cut you off every day. It is honestly, sometimes it's like a war zone out there. And I'm just riding my bike, either riding to a place or riding with friends for fitness. And I just don't understand why there's so much angst. Because a lot of these riders who ride to work, who commute, like my partner and so forth, who get angst. Imagine if all these riders were actually in cars. That would make congestion a hell of a lot more.
Let's look at that for a second, and again we'll talk about Victoria, assuming I know the figures on the back of my hand. 26,000 cyclists a day commute to the CBD.
Just imagine if those people were in cars, how much worse the traffic would be.
Well, 118,000 go to the CBD by car.
Mm-hmm.
Every time it's pouring with rain, every time that we have really bad weather in Melbourne, we don't get on to public transport. We tend to get into our cars and drive as well.
Yep.
Instead of the bike, we go to the car. Most of us have very expensive cars as well as very expensive bikes that race and do exercise cycling. So suddenly we're adding 26,000 more cars to the road, and on a wet weather day we actually get to see drive to work day.
Yeah, exactly.
And what do we hear? Traffic congestion, traffic problems, traffic here, traffic there. Make sure you leave work half an hour early because you're going to get stuck in traffic.
Exactly. And what amazes me, like I've been to Europe the last couple of years through winter for a month, the way cyclists are treated over in Europe is incredible. Like, it is just, cars will go out of their way to go around you. They'll toot and wave when they go around you. They'll stop and let you through. They treat the bike like royalty over there. It is incredible in comparison to when you're back here, and it's so much relaxed, riding on footpaths, riding without a helmet, everyone's riding around. It is just so relaxed. There's cars everywhere, there's still traffic, don't get me wrong, but the cars are patient. They respect the cyclist. Here we're seen as an inconvenience, a pest, a hold up, and that's why vermin, and that's why they do what they do. It's like they're all tough in their metal car, and you know, it's easy to drive up behind a cyclist and toot or try and get as close as you can to him. There's no ramification for them, but it's you know, it's bullying. And the thing is, we've got record levels for speeding, red light, texting, drink driving going on in this state. Yeah, so if motorists are so perfect, why are we at record levels for fines? So motorists make the same mistake cyclists do, but the difference is when the cyclist makes a mistake, they're not going to kill someone. There was one pedestrian killed 11 years ago, which is a tragic accident, and the benefit out of that was it changed rider behaviour. Riders are a lot, in my opinion, because I'm on the road a lot, riders are a lot more obedient and stop at red lights. Sure, there's still some cowboys, but the majority stop at red lights.
And we can all name James Gould.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the name of James Gould, the only pedestrian killed.
I know, and it was tragic. And the positive thing from that, it changed rider behaviour. It's a lot better out there on a Saturday morning along Beach Road. It's a hell of a lot better. It's still not perfect, but it's a lot better. And people say about paying rego, if you see someone drive through a red light in your car, do you write down their registration plate and ring the police? Of course not. Like, you're not. It's just bullying and picking on the minority again. And there's a lot of great drivers out there, don't get me wrong, but we continually get picked on and harassed. And I'm not a motorist hater, so to speak. As I said, I pay 2 lots of rego, I drive, I Vespa, I'm on the road a lot, I'm in sales, I'm out and about on the road, so I'm there. But if I see a cyclist, I give them plenty of room and I take my time getting past them. It's not, saving 5 seconds off your journey could potentially save someone's life.
Looking down the barrel of the camera, what's the message you'd like to send to the drivers for registration of cyclists, the people that have started this petition? Is there a message you would like to give them directly? Just
relax. Just be a bit patient. We're not perfect. You guys aren't perfect. Let's just share the road and let's get along, and everything will be a lot better.
Thanks, Lee.
Thanks, Ed.